Don't skip, because the table is booked, the flowers are in my hand, and I'm realizing something terrifying. You can end this without saying a word. That's what flake really is. It's not canceling. It's disappearing so cleanly that the other person has to accept your silence as the answer. And women like you don't scream, don't block, don't beg. You just go quiet, and the relationship dies politely. So I'm saying it before the clock hits that time. Our first date is booked. Please don't flake. Not because I need you, because I need the truth. Because I'm tired of almost connections that live in messages and die in real life. I'm tired of people acting excited until it's time to show up. I'm tired of being the only one taking the risk. I chose a place that's calm. I booked the table for two. I even bought flowers. Yeah, embarrassing. But it's not for a flex. It's a signal. I planned for your presence. So if you're coming, say it. If you're scared, say it. If you're not ready, say it. Just don't punish me with silence. Because silence isn't peace. Silence is closure. Future wife, our first date is booked. And I know how that sounds. Like a flex. Like a power move. Like I'm trying to force a moment into existence because I'm impatient. But I'm not doing this to impress you. I'm doing this because I'm tired of almost. Almost meeting. Almost timing. Almost connection. Almost love. I'm tired of messages that feel like a doorway and then turn into silence like nobody had the courage to walk through. So I booked it. I booked the table. I chose the time. I even did the embarrassing part, yes, the flowers too, because I'm trying to show you something with actions, not theory. And the only thing I need from you is simple. Please don't flake. Because if you flake, it won't just be a date canceled. It'll be a signal, a decision, a quiet ending before it even starts. And I'm not pretending I don't care. I care enough that I'm talking like this, raw, unfiltered, uncomfortably honest, because I'm done acting like I'm above emotions. I'm not above them. I've just been trained to hide them. Let me tell you what happened. It wasn't romantic at first. Not in the movie way. It was something smaller. Something that doesn't look important until it becomes everything. It was the way you replied. The way you didn't try to be cool by pretending you don't care. The way your words had weight but didn't beg for attention. The way you could be soft without being weak, confident without being loud. And in a world full of noise, that kind of energy is rare. So I did what I usually do when something feels rare. I tried to analyze it. I tried to reduce it. I tried to make it safe by turning it into an idea instead of a risk. Because ideas don't break your heart. Ideas don't flake. Ideas don't leave you on scene. Ideas don't look at you and decide you're too much. But you're not an idea. You're a person. And that's why it's risky. Because a person can disappear. A person can get scared. A person can decide you're not worth the effort and walk away without a dramatic goodbye. A person can ghost you and never look back, leaving you alone with your own expectations like an idiot. So yes, future wife, our first date is booked. And I'm asking you not to flake. I'm not asking because I need control. I'm asking because I need clarity. I need reality. I need to stop living inside ambiguity where everything stays potential and nothing becomes real. Because potential is a trap. Potential lets you imagine the best version while avoiding the truth of the real version. And I want the real version. I'm going to admit something that makes me uncomfortable. I've been checking my phone too much. Not because I'm needy. Because this is new for me. This is the kind of feeling I don't get often anymore. The kind that makes you hyper-aware. The kind that makes your stomach tighten when a message doesn't come. The kind that makes you replay your last text and wonder if you sounded stupid. The kind that makes you want to act unbothered while your brain is doing backflips. I hate that I'm like this. But I respect it too. Because it means something matters. And things that matter should be handled carefully. That's why I booked the date instead of just talking forever. Because talking forever is how people avoid commitment without admitting they're afraid. It's how people keep you emotionally available while keeping themselves safe. It's how people keep the benefit of your attention without the responsibility of your presence. I don't want that from you, and I won't do that to you. So I chose a place that feels like peace. Not loud, not crowded, not a place that screams, "Look at me." A place that feels like a pause, like a breath, like two people can sit across from each other without performing for the room. And yes, I picked a time that isn't too late. Because I want the date to feel like a beginning, not like a last-minute come-over situation. I want it to feel intentional. I want you to feel chosen, not convenient. Because if you're going to be my future wife, the first thing you should feel around me is safe. Not impressed. Safe. But safe doesn't happen if you don't show up. Safe doesn't happen if you flake. And I know people flake for a million reasons. Anxiety, fear, past trauma, overthinking, a bad day, a friend telling you don't go, your heart saying yes and your brain screaming no. I understand all of that. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you the truth. If you flake, it will hurt. Not because I can't handle rejection. I can handle it. I've handled worse. But because flaking isn't rejection. It's uncertainty disguised as silence. It's a door half open that never fully closes, and that's the cruelest thing you can do to someone who's trying to be real. So please, don't flake. You want to know what scares me? It's not that you'll say no. A clean no is honest. A clean no is painful but respectful. The scary thing is you saying yes with words and no with behavior. The scary thing is you agreeing and then disappearing. The scary thing is you making me carry the entire emotional risk alone. Because I've carried enough alone in life. I've carried projects. I've carried teams. I've carried pressure that most people will never feel. And I did it because it was necessary. But love isn't supposed to feel like survival. Love isn't supposed to feel like you're begging the universe for someone to show up. Love is supposed to feel like mutual effort. So I'm doing my part. I booked the date. I booked the table. I chose the calm. And yes, I bought the flowers. Let me be honest about that too. Buying flowers felt ridiculous. Not because flowers are bad. Because I'm not used to doing simple human gestures without overthinking. My brain tries to turn everything into strategy. But flowers aren't strategy. Flowers are a signal. They say, I thought of you when you weren't here. I prepared for your presence. I want you to feel welcomed, and I need you to understand something. I'm not doing flowers because I think you're fragile. I'm doing flowers because I think you deserve softness. You deserve someone who doesn't just talk about intensity and mission and future. You deserve someone who can also say, I want to make you smile. Because your smile matters more than my pride. Future wife, the truth is, I'm not great at first dates. Not because I can't talk. I can talk. But because most first dates are games. People test each other. People act cool. People hide their real selves and then get shocked later when the mask falls. I don't want masks. I want the fastest path to truth. That's why this date matters. I want to look at you across a real table and see what your eyes do. I want to hear your voice without filters. I want to see how you hold silence. I want to feel whether the calm between us is real or just chemistry through screens. Because screens can lie. Screens make people brave. Screens make people romantic. Screens let you edit your personality and pretend that's you. Real life doesn't let you edit. Real life reveals. And if we're going to build anything real, we need revelation. So I'm asking you again, please don't flake. If you're still mad at me for something, tell me. If you're scared, tell me. If you're unsure, tell me. But don't disappear. Because disappearing is how people avoid accountability. And I'm not building a future with someone who disappears. Now let me tell you what this date is not. It's not a proposal. It's not a contract. It's not we're married now because we ate dinner. It's a first step. But first steps matter. Because first steps set the tone. They create the pattern. If the pattern starts with silence and flaking, then we're building on weak ground. If the pattern starts with courage and showing up, then even if it doesn't work out, at least it was real. That's all I want, real. I've had enough fake. Fake people. Fake intentions. Fake smiles. Fake loyalty. Fake admiration. People who love the idea of me but don't want the reality of my mind. People who chase the myth and then panic when they meet the man. I don't want someone who loves the myth. I want someone who can look at me and say, "Stop performing." And I think that might be you. Because you don't sound impressed. You sound aware. Aware in a way that scares me and comforts me at the same time. And yes, that's why I'm nervous. Men don't say that. But I am. I'm nervous because I don't want to ruin this with my own habits. I don't want to show up with intensity so heavy it overwhelms you. I don't want to talk like a machine. I don't want to hide behind jokes or philosophy. I want to be present. Present means vulnerable. And vulnerable means risk. So I'm taking the risk. But you have to take your side of it too. Show up. If you show up, you'll see something real. I'm not trying to own you. I'm not trying to control your life. I'm trying to build a space where your heart can breathe. I'm trying to build a future where you don't feel like you're fighting for basic care. And I know you've fought before. I can tell. I can tell by the way you don't over-explain. By the way you protect your energy. By the way you don't chase. By the way you hold your dignity like it's sacred. Women who have never been hurt don't move like that. So I'm not asking you to lower your guard for nothing. I'm asking you to test me in reality. Let me prove it. Let me show you that I can show up consistently, not just talk big. Because you deserve consistency. That's the currency of love. Not money. Not words. Consistency. So here's the plan. Simple and clean. You arrive. You don't have to dress like you're going to war. You don't have to perform. Wear what makes you feel like you. Not hot. You. Because I don't want a costume. I want a person. I'll be there before you arrive, not after. Because being late is disrespect. And I'm not starting this with disrespect. I'll have the flowers, yes, and I'm already embarrassed about it, but I'm still doing it. We sit. And the first thing I say won't be a flex. It will be, "How are you?" Really? Not as a polite question. As a real one. Because I want to know what lives underneath your calm. Then you can tell me what you need. Tell me your boundaries. Tell me your fears. Tell me your expectations. Tell me what you refuse to tolerate. I will listen. And then I will tell you mine. Not the fake ones. The real ones. Like this, I can be intense. I can disappear into work. But I'm learning. And if I love you, I will not make you compete with my mission for basic affection. That's not fair. No woman should have to compete with a man's ego. No woman should have to compete with a man's schedule. No woman should have to beg for 5 minutes of presence. If a man can't give presence, he shouldn't date. That's the truth. And I'm choosing to date you like a man who knows that. So please don't flake. Because if you don't come, my brain will start filling the silence with stories. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to imagine reasons. I don't want to spiral. I don't want to become that version of myself, controlled on the outside, falling apart on the inside. I'd rather hear the truth. If you changed your mind, say it. If you're scared, say it. If you're overwhelmed, say it. But don't disappear. Because disappearing is what people do when they don't respect the other person's feelings. And I think you do respect feelings. That's why this matters. I'm also going to tell you something that might surprise you. I told my mom. I told her I booked a date. And she raised her eyebrows like she didn't believe I could do something normal. Like she expected me to just live inside Mission forever. She said, "You're actually going on a date?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "With the future wife?" She said it half joking, but I felt the weight behind it. Moms always feel weight behind jokes. Then she said, "Don't mess it up." That line hit me because it's true. Men mess up the simplest things by overcomplicating. And my mom said, "If she's good, don't scare her away with your intensity." So I'm trying. I'm trying to show up as a man, not as a storm. But you also have to meet me halfway. Not by being perfect, just by being present. So again, please don't flake. Because I'm not booking this date for content. I'm booking it for possibility. Possibility is rare. People waste possibility because they're afraid of being hurt. But if you avoid possibility, you guarantee loneliness. That's the trade, and I'm done paying loneliness. I'd rather risk pain. I'd rather risk embarrassment. I'd rather risk a no. Because at least it's real. So, future wife, our first date is booked. Please don't flake. If you're wondering what I want from you, it's not your beauty, not your status, not your wife material performance. I want your honesty. I want your real voice. I want your real boundaries. I want your real softness, not forced. I want your real standards, not fake. I want the part of you that's tired of games. And I think you want the same. You want a man who doesn't just talk. A man who shows up. So test me. Show up. And if you show up, you'll see something rare. A man who's not trying to conquer you, but trying to build with you. A man who's not trying to impress you, but trying to understand you. A man who's not asking you to be smaller, but asking you to be yourself. And if that works, then maybe the word future wife won't feel like a joke anymore. It will feel like a direction. Now I'm going to be brutally honest about the fear underneath all of this. The fear is that you won't come. The fear is that you'll read, "Please don't flake," and feel pressure. And pressure will make you back away. So let me remove the pressure. You don't owe me. You're not obligated. If you don't want to come, I won't hate you. I'll be hurt, yes, because I'm human, but I won't hate you. I will respect your choice. But if you do want to come, if part of you is curious, if part of you is excited, if part of you wants to see if this is real, then be brave, because brave women don't get replaced. Brave women choose themselves. Brave women don't flake on their own life. So don't flake on us. And if you're sitting there thinking, "What if he disappoints me?" That's fair. But disappointment is part of dating. The difference is, do you get disappointment with honesty or disappointment with confusion? I'm offering honesty. Even if it's awkward. Even if it's imperfect. Even if my voice shakes. So yes, future wife, the date is booked, and I'll be there. Early, flowers in hand. Trying not to look stupid. But willing to look stupid because I'm serious. That's the kind of strong I want to be now. Not the strong that never needs anyone. The strong that shows up even when it's vulnerable. So please, don't flake. If you come, you might change my life. Not because you're magic. Because you're real. And real people are the only things worth building a future with. I'll see you at the table. Or I'll learn the lesson. Either way, this will be real.